Welcome to this insightful debate featuring Douglas Murray. In this video, Douglas Murray tackles controversial perspectives on Hamas and discusses the impact of race-focused ideologies.
Let's hear from an American political commentator, a woman who was the national press secretary for the Bernie Sanders 2020 presidential campaign. She was a senior politics editor at The Intercept. She's now with The Hill. So I tell you all this to show that she's not just some random nincompoop we found on Twitter, but this is supposed to be a serious commentator who here claims that Hamas just want democracy. They don't want to kill Jews. They want to create a country like America.
There has to be a one-state solution, which means that there cannot, when Hamas is talking about eliminating Israel, it's talking about not killing all of the Jews. It's about eliminating the idea.
Okay.
It's about...
Leave it there. We'll leave it there. We'll leave it there.
It's about, let me just finish, sir. Can I just finish the sentence? It's about eliminating the idea of a Jewish state, ending a Jewish state, ending an ethno-national state, and having a state more like what we have in the United States of America.
Douglas, some of her panellists were bursting out laughing at that, but again, she holds a fairly more senior position. She is not just some kid from a university campus, and to be that frightfully ignorant of Hamas and what that charter is and what they say they want to achieve. I'm not easily shocked, but I was shocked by that.
Yeah, I mean, it's shocking, really, Rita, in its ignorance, first of all. But then also in its sort of moral ignorance, because, of course, I don't know. I mean, play this any other way around. Let's say if a white man explained to Breonna, I think her name is Breonna Joy Taylor, I think it is, yes. If somebody explained, if a white man said to her, the KKK, which doesn't exist anymore, the Ku Klux Klan, don't really dislike Black Americans. They just want to do blah-de-blah. She would say, how dare you? How dare you white-splain to me? How dare you mansplain to me? What do you know? And so on. But she thinks she has the knowledge about the current biggest enemy of the Jewish people. And she thinks she has not only the knowledge, but the judgment and the right to tell Jews that her version of what Hamas is correct, and that they should just kind of take her word or take her judgment or take her reassurance that, oh, they don't really want to kill you all. They just they're just doing it for kind of social justice, and the rape and the murder and the beheadings are sort of awkward interim. This is, as I say, not just, I mean, factually ignorant. As I said, there's something morally wicked about doing that. She would accept that in no other situation of somebody to explain what a terrorist group actually seeks to do and say, no, just trust me, just trust me, listen to me on this, not them. Don't listen to them when they say kill all the Jews. Trust me that I'm the brilliant
Douglas Murray critiques an American political commentator's shocking claims about Hamas, arguing that she dangerously misunderstands and misrepresents the group's intentions. How do we discern between naive idealism and dangerous misinformation?
Of this group's words.
Her name's Breonna Joy Gray. I think I was so shocked by her comments there. I forgot to actually name her. Thank you for that, Douglas. Before you go, just quickly, we're seeing a fight back against the CRT, critical race theory, and diversity, equity, inclusion, the entire race-obsessed dogma. We've seen DI programs dumped or wound back at a number of universities. Even Harvard's Faculty of Arts and Sciences dropped its mandatory diversity statements. And yesterday, the New York Times published this about the man who played a big part in pushing this ideology. Ibram X. Kendi faces a reckoning of his own. The New York Times were shocked by this, appalled. But is the grift over, Douglas?
Well, the self-styled Ibram X. Kendi was an obvious con
not his real name.
not his real name, was a con artist from the beginning, and anyone could see that. His work, such as it was of such a low caliber. He made his own definitions up for words, and then said if you didn't agree with him, you were the enemy. I mean, this is a man who wrote a whole book called How to Be an Anti-Racist that turned out to be, the answer was, be me. Be me, Ibram X. Kendi. Shocking, isn't it, that somebody who was so shockingly illiterate in the ways of thinking and much more should have ended up also being a horrible grifter who was given millions of dollars to set up an entity on campus at a very prestigious American university. And then suddenly the money went missing, and nothing was done with the money. I mean, it's almost like Ibram X. Kendi decided to go and set up every racial negative stereotype he could, and then enact it. It's an appalling thing. He in the name of anti-racism, he just made a lot of loot and then ran off with it and mismanaged it. And I'm glad that people have caught up with him, but just think of all of the people, all of the good people. I think of people like David Dorn, black cop, who famously, lost his life in 2020 riots. All those black people whose names are not known and who did not make huge sums of money off this anti-racism grift, and just got on with their life, knuckled down, were great members of their community, and sometimes gave their lives for their community in the name of law and order. I just can't imagine the shame that an Ibram X. Kendi should feel for making a living off a set of claims that are provably false, defaming the country he's in, defaming the country he's from, and then just running off with the cash. It's astounding.
But I think, like the founders of BLM, he may be shameless, so I don't think he'll be minding that too much. Douglas Murray, always a pleasure. Thank you for your time this evening.
Murray addresses the fallout surrounding Ibram X. Kendi, highlighting his controversial anti-racism initiatives and their subsequent failure. What are the long-term consequences of promoting flawed ideologies under the guise of social justice? Thank you for joining us in this compelling discussion. Stay tuned for more debates and thought-provoking conversations.